as an American citizen, I would completely support his right to do this. But he's not.
You don't know anything. No, it does not. What are you talking about?
I don't really know exactly how the law works. This is what I've heard.
Then why did you spend 48 hours worth of content saying, oh my God.
That's it.
And I certainly don't know all of the confines of
Here we go again.
I don't know everything about the fucking immigration law either. Having said that, then why did you spend 48 fucking hours worth of content saying?
Anyway, he spent way more than 48, by the way.
No, it does not. That's the you can in the United States of America, you can literally fucking say you love Al Qaeda, you love the KKK,
Yes.
you love Nazis. The government can't fucking deport you over.
Yes, that's true. If you're a citizen, Hassan would be right.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
It is also constitutionally protected. He's saying
no.
Context. Under the Immigration and Nationality Act, any non-citizen, including a green card holder, is subject to deportation. If they engage in terrorist activities, these activities include material support like any form of facilitation of the terrorist organization. In the case of Mahmoud Khalil, Hassan is muddying the waters trying to reframe this individual as just being pro-Palestine. Here are the facts.
So this is the guy that has been detained, is the leader of the CUAD, which was formed after SLP and JVP were suspended for pro-terror activity.
The CUAD, Columbia University Apartheid Divest, was responsible for this reenactment of Helm's Deep last year.
Oh, wow.
And so Khalil openly defends Hamas in the CUAD
crazy.
video on March 2025.
We tried armed resistance, which is again legitimate under international law, but again Israel is terrorism.
Yes, they're calling it terrorism because you're killing innocent people. CUAD's anti-American stance is clear. Members vowed to weaken U.S. imperialism. On March 9th, 2025, the NY Post exposed their goal. This is unbelievable. Eradication of Western civilization. CUAD organized a pro-terror event in March 24th called Palestinian Resistance 101. Speaking at the event was Khalid Barakat, a senior member of the PFLP, a designated terror group. So they organized an event, and one of the speakers was was a member of a terrorist group. What is this? Let's just go ahead and get down to it, right? If this guy is associated with this group, and this group has done anything to whitewash Hamas or to promote Hamas, without a shadow of a doubt, they have a complete justification to deport him. But these are, in fact, what the rules are. It is a literal fact that a green card holder can be removed for being part of a group that expresses support for a terrorist group. It's literally outlined, and this specific case, like, it is literally written down.
I won't talk to you because you're intentionally being
Define support. I would say passing out flyers and then inviting a person from a terrorist organization to speak at your event is supporting. That's in my opinion, I think that's support.
That is also, that's coward.
Yeah, stop supporting terrorists. You would think that not supporting terrorists is easy to do, but you'd really be surprised. Let me go back.
Constitutionally protected. He's saying he won't talk to you because you're intentionally being dishonest. That is also, that's cowardice. Okay.
So if I go and I look at the tweet that Hassan made about me, and this is why I don't engage with this, it's because it's completely misrepresenting. Absolutely 100% misrepresentation. When somebody opens up a conversation on the premise of me thinks it's a violation of free speech when devs make video game boobs smaller, but when the DHS openly kidnaps a green card holder for being pro-Palestine, so let's go ahead and break this down line by line. Asmongold thinks it's a violation of free speech when devs make video game boobs smaller. I wish it was, but unfortunately it's not. This is an obvious appeal.
Hilarious.
This is an ad absurdum. We're going to escalate what you're thinking. You are a crazy, unreasonable, stupid person for believing this, and I'm going to caricature you as something that you're not in order to make you look stupid. So you introduce me as this person, but then when the DHS openly kidnaps a green card holder for being pro-Palestine, he's not getting deported for being pro-Palestine. He's getting deported, and I don't know, maybe he's not going to get deported, right? There's a chance that he's not going to get deported. But let's say he does, it will not be because he's pro-Palestine. It will be because he is part of a group that has expressed positivity towards being pro-Hamas. And this is the problem, is that Hassan keeps making this comparison. He keeps going and saying that being pro-Hamas is pro-Palestine. This is a terrible way of looking at it, and Hamas is a terrorist organization, and you do a massive disservice to Palestinians when you just use them interchangeably, because this is not the same thing. And it damages their entire cause. It makes all of them look like they're these bad people, and he's doing this, and I think he's own-goaling for something that he's so fucking supportive of. He thinks it's awesome and not a violation of the First Amendment. It's not that I think that, it's that that's what the law is. That's what the law, classic free speech defender stuff here. So again, I am a free speech defender, but I have never said that I am a free speech absolutist. I've never said this before. I've openly stated in many cases that there are tons of things that I think there should be limitations on free speech about. So when I see somebody who is in every single line of their statements about me mischaracterizing intentionally, caricaturing, and misrepresenting what I'm saying, no, I'm not going to have a conversation about this, because you're beginning on a foundation that doesn't exist. This does not exist. Everything about this is false. So by engaging with this, all you do is enable it. No, it's not going to happen. Let's see here. We're going to go through the rest of this. So this is what he said originally. It's not good faith at all. It's not even remotely
It's not even close
It's
to
like
good faith,
180 degrees in the other direction. I think that Hassan, and I don't want to make it very personal, but I do worry that Hassan, like if I look at this clip, right? Where is like fan comes up to there? Here we go. Oh, this is me reacting to it. I saw this video yesterday. Look, that was a while ago.
Thanks so much. I'm sorry, I forgot to say you need to stop drinking Coke Zero on stream.
Why?
It's boycott.
Wait, is it?
You're preaching pro-Palestine and you're drinking all this boycott stuff. Please, Hassan, at least pretend. Do it off stream. Please.
Okay, I'll put it in a glass. Is Pepsi okay?
No.
No soda, Hassan. I didn't know it was like that.
I'm trying to stop it. He's an animal.
Shutting down, you have a person who is, in my opinion, to a degree, audience capture. These people got mad at him for drinking Coca-Cola, okay? Like, if you look at, for example, my videos about Donald Trump, and if you look at Asmongold, Ukraine, Trump, this has 2,000 downvotes.
Would you guys say that I'm audience captured? I don't think so. I think I constantly challenge my audience, like maybe too much.
Reason why is because I expressed a lot of frustration with what Trump was doing, and I disagreed with him. And so I have no problem going against my audience in a lot of cases, and in fact, some of my viewers get frustrated because I do it to a fault. The fact is that I think he needs to be more honest about this, and I think that him playing defense for it, all it's doing is it's radicalizing people against his cause. And I think that he does have, and again, I think Hassan does have fundamentally with the Palestinians a noble cause. But when you make the people that are these people that have had their life fucking destroyed, when you make being pro them, being pro terrorist group, what you do is you make them look bad and you alienate average people against them. But we'll keep going. We'll watch the rest of it.
With evidence to the contrary, Asmongold immediately said, if it's true, then I guess he's right and I'm wrong.
And I wish you could do the same. I wish he could say, if it's true that a green card holder can be deported for having connections to groups that have shown positivity towards terrorism, then he's absolutely justified to be deported. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. And you can disagree with this, right? Like ideologically, but to say that that's not the case is completely ridiculous. It is stated that way. Do you think that Palestinians are Hamas supporters? I think a lot of them are, but I think that a lot of them also aren't. And I think that a lot of the people that are Hamas supporters are the devil you know supporters. These are people who support Hamas because while they might not like Hamas, they want Hamas Hamas to stop the people that have been bombing them. And I think that it's understandable that many Palestinians would support Hamas. I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying it's understandable. So I don't hold it against the Palestinians. And even if you say it's 80%, that means 1 in 5 people doesn't deserve to be fucking categorized as a terrorist supporter. That's why I apologize for it. I think it's wrong. I think using a generalization like that to dehumanize those people and caricature their viewpoints is unfair to them. It's unfair to their cause, and it's dishonest. So no, I'm not going to do that. And even if it is 80%, that's still not enough for me to say that they're all collectively guilty. That's outrageous. It's more complicated than that, and anybody who's honest knows that, right? And if that's the way that the law works, I mean, I don't really know exactly how the law works. This is what I've heard.
Then why did you spend 48 fucking hours worth of content saying? Oh my God.
Is Hassan a lawyer? Like, the fact is that neither of us know what the fuck we're talking about. Neither of us are lawyers. I mean, neither of us are lawyers. That's not how it works. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, in my opinion, by the way, this is still my opinion. I don't want to have anybody in the fucking country that's not a naturalized citizen that's supporting a terrorist organization. And I don't think that we need to afford the full rights of freedom of speech to people that are not even citizens to advocate for terror.
Okay, you don't like the First Amendment. That's it.
See? This is what I've been saying. What are we doing here?
You don't like the First Amendment, then. You are anti-free speech. That's it. You are anti-free speech.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez. I don't know what to say, guys. Can you be deported as a U.S. resident? Yeah. Can a naturalized citizen be deported? The short answer is yes. Well, no, you're right. They can actually still deport you if you're a citizen, but, like, the bar for that is, like, infinitely higher.
You folded, shaking my head. Wait, what?
Uh-oh.
Are they just imagining alternative realities? How the fuck am I folding? He's the one who's walking.
It's not about folding or not folding or walking things back or not walking them back. You just look at what the rules are. You look at what's written down, and it sure seems like if this guy's connected to this group, he broke the rules. I mean, we don't need, like, this is, it doesn't need to have any ego attached to this. This is, it's a simple evaluation of words on a page. That's all. We don't need to get emotionally attached to this. We don't need to get upset about this. Just look at what's being said and see whether it's true or not. I don't think it's that complicated, is it? Jeez.
No,
fact, the underlying falsehood that he was operating off of, that he was so confidently talking about,
underlying falsehood
that has now been seen by hundreds of thousands of people. Now, the reason why we can't have a fucking conversation, even though I added him directly, is because he doesn't want to have the conversation. It's not me.
Let me just get this off my chest. This is the reason why Asmon doesn't want to have a conversation. On their last one, Hassan said this.
People, by the way, Iran is actually weirdly very pro-trans, but I'm sure that you probably didn't know that. They're very homophobic, but they are very pro-trans. A lot of cultures are actually very pro-trans, way more than the United States of America.
The very next day after Asmon was banned, Hassan was belly laughing about it. Why? Because Iran actually forcefully pushes people to sex change when they are lesbian or gay as a mean to avoid persecution.
I like that they're mad that Iran is woke on trans.
Yeah,
too woke.
Yeah, way too woke.
A little too woke. They went overboard.
Way too woke.
Iran is the left went so far. Maybe they went out of control a little bit.
It's like they're doing what people said like Biden would do.
They're doing I said it on that conversation. I said they're doing Kamala Harris. They're doing transgender surgeries on inmates.
I'm a propagandist.
Well, no.
For the record.
No, I'm not calling
I'm a propagandist.
I'm just saying. I'm going to.
I'm saying I am.
Okay. Well, then
I'm saying I am.
I just
want
to
you even play it.
I have not only a genuine, firmly held ideological conviction here, but I also understand the pre-existing rules set in place better than Asmongold does. It's okay. It's all right to not know everything, and I certainly don't know all of the confines of I don't know everything about the fucking immigration law either. It seems like I know a little bit more than he does, or at least know how to correctly read and interpret the things that are in front of me.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any more of these. I think there could be a little bit more. I don't know.
Terrorist simps are out of control by Asmongold 6 hours ago.
This is the video I did. He's not happy about this video. Terrorist simps are out of control, which, by the way, is true. Absolutely, completely out of control. Completely misrepresenting Palestine. Totally hurting the cause. Like, massively detrimental to this group.
Mahmoud Khalil, by the way. Mr. Free Speech Defender.
Again. Again.
When boobs get pixelated, or when boobs are like a little bit smaller in a fucking video game, that's the worst thing that's ever happened to free speech. That's the grossest
True. Yeah, sure. So you guys can see where I'm coming from, right? With like not wanting to engage with this. Why would I engage with it?
Free speech crime that Sony could commit on Stellar Blade. God forbid when the American state actually fucking puts down the hammer and decides, we don't like what you have to say, you're gonna get deported. Then he goes, terrorist simps.
We don't like what you have to say. Well, I mean, I would say that's a little bit of a you know, kind of brushing it a little bit under the rug there. I'd say just a little bit, right? Just a little bit.
It's awesome. It's based. As I was saying, pro-Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil was black-bagged from his Columbia University.
Black-bagged. This is like a term for what Stalin would do with people. It's, again, the emotional escalation of this.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I've been there with the same thing. I've dealt with this stuff before.
By the Department of Homeland Security, by ICE agents.
Yes.
And expeditiously shipped off to Louisiana. Today, in New York, a New York judge oversaw whether or not that was appropriate.
Yes.
Okay? And it's not appropriate. We learned that the Department of Homeland Security actually openly stated that there was no illegal reasons as to there was no law that was violated for Mahmoud Khalil's,
which has nothing to do with it at all. This is a total red herring. It never had anything to do with a law being broken or not. Maybe you could make that argument, but that's not the argument being made. That's it. It was never the point. And so this is, again, it's capitalizing on people's lack of understanding or people's willingness to believe this. The fact is that if you're a green card holder, there are certain things that you still can't do. Like, for example, two of them are you can't vote and you also can't support terrorist organizations. You can't do either one of those. So it's not the exact same thing as being a citizen. If it was, they'd be able to vote.
And subsequent deportation, or the deportation process starting, and that it was specifically because they didn't like what he was saying.
They didn't like what he was saying. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, that's... Hell, what was he saying? I wonder, right? I don't even know what to say. Yeah, this is crazy. They just didn't like what he had to say. Insane. Yeah, I wonder why. And so, and this isn't even the first time. I don't understand why this is happening. It's kind of odd for me to see this, but...
And yes, in terms of Mudahar, he's an interesting...
He's even getting mad at Mudahar. What's this?
Person, because I used to talk to him all the time. I used to get help from him on like Steam Deck related stuff. And then he started orbiting Destiny around the same time that Destiny was like becoming super pro Israel. And he noticeably was quiet on this issue. You know, he had more tweets about this. Not sure what he meant by your kind though. Maybe you know.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like you are not pro free speech. You're not an honest person. And all you care about either in this situation, all you care about is...
This is like saying that like Hassan isn't pro free speech because he doesn't want Aiden Ross back on the platform. It's just, again, it's such an obvious misrepresentation.
It's either making money, okay? All you care about is either making money and farming this as like angling this in the least contentious way possible and make money off the backs of people fucking dying, babies getting murdered every single day by Israel.
This is, again, more emotional manipulation. It's, again, oh, well, this is about like, oh, there's babies getting killed, so now my opinion is right. Yeah, it's emotional appeal, so it's not worth taking seriously.
It's either something that you're not genuinely interested in, or B, it's worse, you actually do like Israel, but you're too ashamed to admit it. And I don't think he likes Israel and he's too ashamed to admit it. I think he's just like not very knowledgeable and you know, wanted to make a statement about it, but take a very centrist position. And because he can't...
How can you get mad at a person for that? He takes a moderate position because he doesn't feel like he's particularly informed about it, and he says this is problematic, and that's fine. I feel like if you can't let people that are like, if you want to push everybody to extremism, you will, but it'll be to the other side.
Can't say something directly about Israel or Gaza because then everyone's going to eat his ass alive. All he does is go after people who do demonstrate the courage to talk about these issues.
Having the courage to talk about the issues doesn't mean that you have to support terrorism. There are plenty of people that talk about the issues without supporting terrorism or playing terrorist propaganda. What is the only way to help the Palestinians to play terrorist propaganda? How does this even make sense? Anyway,
good point.
Here's another one. And so and this is what he said about it too.
Hassan, you really need to sort your shit out, man. Like, you're honestly all over the place, and like watching Asmongold, he's just mopping you, dude. He's making you look so silly, Hassan. You look so silly. I'm sorry. as a neutral. I watch you both. I watch Hassan. I watch Asmongold. My channel's built on the two pillars of Asmongold, Hassan, and myself being the center point. And Asmongold is making you look silly.
Too. Muda, in this particular case, because he's an insane case, because he's a victim of the same right-wing mobs he often farms in videos. He literally left Twitter because of vicious racism, and now he's back again only to farm more. Motherfucker, they hate you more than they hate me. No. And this is Hassan trying to weaponize identity politics to say that Mudahar should be ideologically aligned with Hassan because of his skin color or his ethnicity. That's effectively what he's saying. He's saying that, well, you should be on my side because of your culture, and this culture should be on our side. I don't think this is a good way of looking at it. I don't. Mudahar, he might be an Indian American, but I think he's from India. I'm not even really sure where Mudahar is fucking from. Honestly, I think it's India. Either way, he's Canadian. Future American. He's also a Canadian, born here in Canada. He doesn't live in India, as far as I know. Yeah, he's not an he's not an American yet.
Having said that, part of the reason why he came back was to unironically, play the role of one of the good ones. That's what's so crazy.
So insinuating that Mudahar is now being an Uncle Tom and Uncle Ruckus, and he's saying that, well, aren't these brown people all kind of bad? I'm one of the good ones. Well, I don't know about that, right? I mean, I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I don't think so at all.
That's typical left-leaning type linguistic behavior, though. And I say left-leaning, I don't mean the traditional left, I mean the crazy left.
Ain't cool-headed. No, the thing is that I never let things...
By the way, I identify as left. I'm talking about the extremists who have poisoned the left.
Turn personal. I don't let things turn personal. I don't need them to be personal. This is a disagreement on an idea, and if people want to make it personal, that's their own prerogative, but I'm not going to reciprocate that. This is just simply a disagreement that I have, and these are the reasons why I think it's bad. That's it.
About it, like he
someone wipes your rate. Yeah,
he will say, I don't have a political opinion, but then also turn around and demonstrate a political opinion that, of course, is trying to...
I think that a political opinion of saying that it's not a good idea to play terrorist propaganda on Twitch, while, by the way, it was against TOS, little fine print there. This is not a political opinion. This is common sense.
Position himself as like a centrist person, okay? As a centrist person, angling it from the perspective of drama. To which he also responded, by the way, in your video on Gaza. He said, yes, I do admit to not being an expert on the topic. Didn't cover it as drama since it isn't one. Serious situation with dead people and attacks happening every day. I just don't downplay rapes and sugarcoat violent organizations like you. Also didn't defend Asmon in vid. What's interesting about that response is it basically demonstrates the exact thing that I'm talking about. It also is a lie. He did cover it as simply drama because I responded back to him.
Well, he covered it as drama because it was regarding, so there's two separate things, and these are like concentric circles. So there's like the Israel-Palestine conflict, and then there's the way that it's being approached on Twitch. So if he covers this inner circle of it, that doesn't mean that he's covering the greater issue, even though the greater issue is informing the inner circle. That's the difference.
I'm saying I didn't cover it as drama.
I don't think Hassan has brought up one good point yet. I think Hassan's points are all emotional. They're all charged with just... I don't know how to describe it. It's just weak argument after weak argument. There's nothing compelling about what Hassan is saying. And as I said, I like Hassan, but he's very... Not being personal, he is not compelling right now.
Which
it sounds like he is a propagandist. It sounds like he's just manipulating his audience. And his audience is manipulating him at the same time.
I think it's very important because, like, if Mudahar had covered Israel-Palestine as like a meme and like, like whatever, right? Then I would have said that was disrespectful, and I would agree with Hassan. I just don't think that's what he was doing. I don't think that's what he intended on doing either. I know Mudahar. I've spoken to him multiple times. I don't know him well. I would say like I'm, an acquaintance so far, but I like the guy. I do. I like the guy, and it's conflation. Yeah. Exactly. The things that were being said on Twitch are, in some cases, kind of separate from the actual conflict itself. Like, these two things are, it's like two separate realms.
This tweet, okay.
Yo, Gideon, thanks for 5 subs, man. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, man.
I don't do this. And then
keep fighting the good fight. I've been watching.
I responded with, we were a year into a genocide here. This was your only video.
This is, again, we're a year into a genocide. This is, again, another emotional appeal. Another, oh my God.
He does
I hate
all.
that
That's all he
argument.
does.
Well, it's just to claim the moral high ground. It's to claim the moral high ground so you can grandstand about something.
On the topic, it
Yep.
downplayed and ran defense for Asma's takes, while the bulk of your commentary revolved around how evil the pro-Palestinian streamers were from clips you compiled off snark subreddits. 990,000 views, though. And then I said, just gonna leave.
I watched his video about me. I don't think that he really defended me. I think that he just said that I misspoke and I was talking about Hamas and not all Palestinians, which is effectively true. But I misspoke and that's my fault. So that's not really defending, it's clarifying.
This here.
Let's see here. I think we've got one more. Oh, here we go.
This time, for much of the time frame in my coverage on Israel-Palestine, I haven't really hyper-focused on like a bunch of these drama slop tubers. I think Bad Empanada has done a decent job. Bad Empanada has done a decent job of like going after some of these guys, at least like by breaking down the lack of arguments that they're posting on their videos, right? Because normally you would think like, okay, these guys don't have any sort of serious interest or whatever. Why are you talking about them? They're silly. They're completely. They're irrelevant, right? Like real things are happening in the world, and these guys are relevant. They're not, because as a collective, they have the capacity to basically fucking inform a lot of uninformed people for much of the time.
Empanada, the guy was banned off of Twitch for playing a game that violated TOS. I just don't know the guy. I don't want to make a lot of opinions on him because I just simply don't know him. That's all.
The clips were actually sourced from the creators who streamed them. No, they weren't. You fucking took clips that were directly out of context from fucking Destiny's subreddit.
All roads lead back to Destiny. And the thing is that, to Hassan's credit, I'm sure there is a degree of this that's true, that a lot of people in Destiny's community do work in cryptic ways to make Hassan look bad. I think that the constant boogeymanning of Destiny and Destiny's community makes him sound kind of schizo. It does. Like, for example, like Destiny's community has also made a lot of posts. Like, a lot of the times when I saw there were a bunch of posts, anytime Destiny would say anything about me or anything like that, there would always be a bunch of posts from people that are from his subreddit that would post it on my subreddit. It is true that sometimes they brigade. That's what every group does. That's what every community does. Destiny's community is very aggressive. They are. But at the same time, that aggression doesn't matter. The main thing that matters is the actual subject material, right? Yeah, the facts matter more.
Where a lot of this stuff comes from. It's okay. You don't have to admit it, but we know that that's what a lot of slop tubers do. It's not just Destiny subreddit either.
And this is again, a delegitimization of Mudahar, slop tuber. Now Mudahar isn't legitimate, positioning himself as above Mudahar. A sense of authority. Like, you see how this is happening, right? Hassan's a slop tuber too. Well, there are people that say that. Would I say that? No, I don't think Hassan's a slop tuber. I don't think Mudahar is either. I think this is just a pejorative term that Hassan is using to delegitimize Mudahar, and I think that it's inaccurate.
They literally, most people that make these kinds of like drama-centered videos, unironically just source it off of fucking Reddit. That's it. They literally go off of Reddit comments. That's the game out here. That is the level of research.
He's right about this. That's true.
That most people dedicate to T channels and drama channels in general.
I think this is an abstract accusation that implies a lack of credibility, but this isn't really accompanied by any example or any specific case of an inaccuracy. It's not done out of any sort of authentic viewpoint. It's done to delegitimize the opposition.
But yeah, it's notice how there is no statement here, okay? Notice how there is no like evidence here. The evidence is Twitch is allowing violent and unfiltered rhetoric, or you're downplaying rapes.
They are. Hassan didn't get in trouble. And again, I'm not advocating for Hassan to get in trouble now. I believe in the statute of limitations. I'll say it again. But at the same time, he did play terrorist propaganda. He interviewed a terrorist. These things happen. Unequivocally, these things happen. That's it. This isn't a debate, right? It's bad. Shouldn't have done that.
Like, did this person read the UN report? Did he even
It wasn't about the UN report. It was about Twitch doing something wrong. So the thing is that this is again an appeal to some form of authority. Well, he didn't read the UN report. The video's not about the UN report. The video is about Twitch and their policy and how they apply their policy and if people on the platform are breaking that policy. It's not about the issue itself.
Watch like the Sheryl Sandberg.
And the reason, by the way, this is an appeal to authority is because he's sourcing an authority that's not relevant to the topic. When your doctor tells you that you need to stop eating Cheetos because you're you're getting fat. You can't tell your doctor that he's making an appeal to authority because he has a relevant contextual knowledge about the topic. An appeal to authority is when you reference authority or a degree of awareness that's not relevant directly to the topic, which is what Hassan is doing right here. Didn't he dismiss the UN report? Well, whether he did or didn't, it's completely not relevant to the video.
Atrocity propaganda flick and then develop his opinion on this issue? Did he read any Israeli newspapers or American newspapers on the matter? And that's how he came up with this idea that like mass rapes had taken place. Screams without words propaganda piece that was immediately undermined, by the way.
Well, there were also the women that came out and said that they got raped. I mean, there was that too, and it should be acknowledged that it happened. Unless all the women are lying, hey, maybe they're all lying.
Did he do any of that? Is that why he has this position? No, he has no position.
Bro, this ain't the hill to die on. And I think that optically it hasn't been, and I think that optically it's been bad for Hassan.
That's repeating something he saw on Reddit. That's my point. Yeah, he's just he's just framing drama for views from his right-wing gamer audience. I don't think you should.
Quite an accusation to make.
I think too much.
To be fair, he's reading a chat message. Hassan is just simply reading what somebody else is saying. But I think that what that person is saying is bullshit.
Well, Hassan agrees with that.
I know that is the statement. I know that is what's going on. I don't like that. I don't like that these guys' only politics is basically so many slop tubers online. Their only frame of reference for politics is just like, this guy is an avatar for all things progressive. A lot of people fucking hate him for that reason. I'm just gonna shit on that guy. And it's a cowardly way to say your position without saying your position. Okay? Oh, I'm a liberal, but honestly, I don't really like this guy who is seemingly far too progressive for me. Guys, I'm one of the good ones. Come on, I'm a centrist. And it's very frustrating.
Well, a liberal isn't a centrist. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I guess maybe they could be, but to me, I don't think that they are.
It's very frustrating to see that shit. It's cowardly. It's infinitely better if you just don't even entertain this stuff at all. You don't bring it up. You don't get into it. You don't throw your hat in the fucking ring. It's all copy paste too. It's all copy paste. It's all ridiculous.
Well, the reason it's copy paste is because people are talking about the same topic. But I think that that's basically really it. Okay, so that's basically it. I think that I've pretty much established the way that I feel about it. I think that Hassan has framed it in a disingenuous way, and I think that the support of this guy, I think just categorically and according to at least like my understanding of the law, is really misplaced. This Mahmoud Khalil guy. I'll say also that I think he deserves a fair trial. I think it's a really important topic, and it's something that it's directly related to me. Obviously, I've got people talking about me and like my opinions about this, people calling me a racist, a fascist, a Nazi, etc. for this kind of stuff. Of course, I'm going to express my viewpoints on this. Of course, I'm going to defend myself to an extent. I hope that whatever rights he does have are followed, and I do not support any revocation of those rights. I think that even though I disagree with what he's doing and or like I disagree with him being here, I don't think that that means that he shouldn't be given the fair treatment, right? Hassan was right about one thing, is that a lot of people watch my videos, and so I want to make sure that people have, and of course, like, I mean, it's his right to respond to anything that I'm saying, and to give his perspective on it too, and to disagree however much he wants. That's totally okay. But this is what my perspective is, and I think that this is a very fair perspective, and it's a genuine perspective that I think is shared by, I would say, the overwhelming majority of the country, that we don't need to have people who are not citizens coming into our country advocating for terrorism or being part of groups that advocate for terrorism. So yeah, terrorism is too vague of a term right now. Okay, maybe you're right, but I think that any reasonable person would agree that Hamas is a terrorist organization. Like, I would say that, like, that's definitely, like, there's a gray area and then there's the black and white. This is on that side.
Look, yes and no. This was, I mean, yes, for sure, but also you got to keep in mind that we just saw a photo of Trump and the leader of North Korea, and you could argue that North Korea is the biggest terrorist of them all, literally threatening the world with nukes all the time. So there is an element of diplomacy where you still have to be able to talk to your enemies and try and develop some sort of peace, potentially. I mean, that's what you'd hope if you wanted a true peace. Or is it just total war all the time? That's the question. But in regards to this whole Hassan versus Asman thing, yeah, look, it's up. Sorry about that. It's dry over here. Yeah, it's interesting. I think Asmon does have the upper hand on Hassan right now in terms of, like, if I had to show my mum these videos, or like an average Australian these videos, I don't call my mum average, by the way, but just meant like an average Aussie who watches content, my mum would probably pick Asmongold's side, because Asmongold's making a lot more sense than Hassan is. But anyways, that was enjoyable and I learned a lot. Thank you guys. And also in the comments below, who do you vote for? Are you team Asmon or are you team Hassan?